My beloved child, your tears have reached my heart. Not one of them has fallen into emptiness. Not one has been ignored by heaven. Not one has disappeared into the pillow, the floor, the night, or the silence without being seen by me. You thought you were crying alone, but I was near. You thought no one heard the sound of your breaking heart, but I heard what even your lips could not explain. You thought your pain was hidden because people pass by without noticing. But nothing in you has ever been hidden from my love. Listen now to the words of Jesus Christ. Gi su kito. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. I did not speak this promise to distant strangers only. I speak it over you today. I speak it over the part of you that has been mourning silently, the part that has been tired of waiting, the part that has prayed with trembling faith, the part that has wondered whether tears have any meaning when the answer still has not arrived. Your mourning is not shameful to me. Your tears do not make you weak in my eyes. They reveal a heart that has suffered, hoped, loved, lost, endured, and still somehow keeps turning toward me. Perhaps you cried when no one was awake. The house was quiet. The world was sleeping. And you tried to hold yourself together until the tears finally came. You did not have polished words. You did not know what to ask for anymore. You only knew that the burden had become too heavy. My child, I was there in that hour. I did not need you to explain every detail. I knew the story behind each tear. I knew which tears came from fear, which came from exhaustion, which came from grief, which came from disappointment, and which came from a longing you have carried for far too long. There were moments when you smiled in front of others while breaking inside. You answered, "I'm okay," because it was easier than explaining the storm within you. You kept working, kept serving, kept replying, kept carrying responsibilities, while the hidden room of your heart was full of pain. People may have believed your smile, but I saw beyond it. I saw the tiredness behind your eyes. I saw the strength it took to appear normal. I saw the prayer you swallowed because you were afraid that if you started speaking, you would begin crying and never stop. Sometimes your tears came from poverty and lack. You looked at what was needed and what was missing, and fear tightened around your soul. You wondered how to continue, how to provide, how to face another day without enough. Shame tried to attach itself to your need. Anxiety tried to make you feel small. But my beloved child, lack has never made you less precious to me. Empty hands do not mean an empty destiny. A difficult season does not erase my care. I saw every tear you cried over bills, work, food, family responsibilities, and the pressure of not knowing how tomorrow would be met. Other tears came from sickness and weakness. Your body became tired, fragile, or painful, and your heart became afraid. You wondered whether strength would return. You wondered whether anyone understood how exhausting it is to suffer quietly. You wondered whether your body had become a prison instead of a home. I saw the fear in waiting rooms, the tears after difficult news, the silent prayers before sleep, the trembling hope for healing. Your body is not forgotten by me. Your pain is not invisible. Even when healing feels slow, my compassion is close. Many tears were born from rejection. Someone you loved did not stay. Someone you trusted did not protect your heart. Someone you hoped would understand instead misunderstood you. A door closed. A voice grew distant. A promise broke, and your heart began asking, "Was I not enough?" My child, their inability to love you rightly does not decide your worth. Their leaving does not erase my choosing. Their silence does not cancel my voice. I saw how rejection wounded you. And I am speaking now to the place where you still feel unwanted. You are seen, you are loved, and you are mine. At times, depression made your tears quiet and heavy. Some days, they did not even fall from your eyes. They stayed inside you like a weight no one could see. You felt tired without being able to explain why. You felt distant from joy, distant from people, maybe even distant from prayer. Yet I did not accuse you. I did not call you faithless because the darkness felt thick. I drew near to the crushed places. I stayed with you when your strength was small. I heard the prayer that was only a sigh. I understood the cry that had no sound. Do not believe the lie that your tears were wasted because the miracle has not yet appeared. A seed is not wasted because it is buried. Dawn is not canceled because the night is still dark. A prayer is not forgotten because the answer is forming in hidden places. I have gathered what you thought had fallen uselessly. I have held what you believed no one valued. I have received the tears you were embarrassed to show. What you gave me in sorrow, I can return in mercy. What you surrendered in brokenness, I can touch with power. Beloved child, I know you have wondered why the waiting has been so long. You have asked me for healing, for provision, for restoration, for peace, for clarity, for a sign that your pain is not the end of the story. You have watched days become weeks, weeks become months, and perhaps months become years. Waiting can make the soul weary. It can make faith feel thin. It can make hope feel risky. But waiting has not been emptiness. I have been working where your eyes could not see. I have been preparing strength beneath your weakness, wisdom beneath your confusion, and grace beneath your tears. There are miracles that begin long before they are visible. They begin when your heart does not become hard, despite what hurt you. They begin when you pray again, after disappointment. They begin when you forgive without denying the wound. They begin when you rise for another day, though your soul feels tired. They begin when you refuse to let shame be your name. They begin when you whisper, "Father, help me," even after many unanswered questions. Do not despise these hidden beginnings. Heaven sees them as holy. Your tears have watered places in you where compassion will grow. One day, the pain you thought only broke you may become the place where tenderness lives. You will understand the hurting with gentleness. You will recognize silent suffering in others. You will know how to pray for someone who has no words. You will not be quick to judge the weary, because you have known what it means to keep walking with a wounded heart. I do not waste tears that are brought to me. I can turn them into wisdom, mercy, patience, and testimony. Maybe you feel too tired to believe in a miracle today. If so, let me believe over you. Let my promise stand where your strength cannot. Let my faithfulness be greater than your fragile expectation. I am not asking you to force excitement. I am asking you to keep your heart open to me. Sometimes faith is not a shout. Sometimes faith is a quiet refusal to let go of my hand. Sometimes faith is simply staying near when you do not understand. That small faith is precious to me. Remember that a miracle does not always arrive in the form you imagined. Sometimes I heal the body suddenly. Sometimes I give strength through the process. Sometimes I open a door you prayed for. Sometimes I close one that would have harmed you. Sometimes I restore a relationship. Sometimes I give you peace to release what could not become healthy. Sometimes I provide through unexpected means. Sometimes I change the circumstance. And sometimes I begin by changing the fear inside you. Trust not only the miracle you want, but the Father who knows what your soul truly needs. My child, do not let shame silence your tears. You do not have to apologize for hurting. You do not have to hide your sorrow from me. You do not have to make your pain look smaller so others will be comfortable. Come as you are. If your voice breaks, I hear you. If your prayer is messy, I receive it. If your heart is angry, confused, or tired, bring that truth into my presence. I am not threatened by your honesty. I would rather hold your wounded truth than watch you suffer behind a false appearance of strength. Now bring me the tears you have not yet surrendered. Bring me the tear of disappointment over what did not happen. Bring me the tear of grief over who did not stay. Bring me the tear of fear over what may come next. Bring me the tear of shame over what you regret. Bring me the tear of longing for a miracle that still seems far away. Place them in my hands one by one. I will not treat them lightly. I will not throw them away. I will gather them into the work of mercy I am preparing. Let this prayer rise softly from your heart. Father, you have seen every tear I tried to hide. You know the pain behind them and the hope beneath them. Do not let my sorrow be wasted. Comfort me where I mourn. Heal me where I am broken. Strengthen me where I am tired. Prepare my heart for the miracle you are forming. Help me trust that even when I cannot see the answer, your love is still working. Remain with that prayer for a moment. Let it move slowly through the rooms of your soul. Let it touch the memory of the night you cried alone. Let it sit beside the wound that still aches. Let it speak to the place where waiting has made hope difficult. When you pray this way, you are not denying the pain. You are placing the pain where mercy can reach it. You are allowing my love to become stronger than the belief that your tears meant nothing. My beloved child, your miracle is coming in the way my wisdom prepares. It may come as restoration, as provision, as healing, as peace, as a new door, as freedom from an old chain, as courage to begin again, or as a testimony that shows my faithfulness in a place where despair once ruled. Do not demand that it arrive only in one shape. Let me be God over the form, the timing, the path, and the purpose. What I prepare will carry my care, not merely your expectation. Until then, let comfort begin now. Comfort is not only for the day when everything changes. Comfort is also for the night before change is visible. Comfort is for the waiting heart. Comfort is for the child who still cries. Comfort is for the soul that wants to believe but feels tired. Comfort is for you today. I am not waiting until the miracle arrives to love you. I love you here, in the ache, in the waiting, in the tears, in the fragile hope. So lift your heart, even if it is heavy. Let the tears that once made you feel forgotten become evidence that you were always seen. Let the sorrow that once felt endless become the place where my compassion enters. Let the waiting that once seemed empty become the soil where trust is growing. I have not ignored your pain. I have not wasted your tears. I have not abandoned the prayer you whispered in the dark. Rest in this truth. Every tear brought to me has been held by love. Every hidden cry has reached my heart. Every night of mourning has been seen by heaven. Your miracle is not delayed because I am careless. It is being prepared with wisdom, deeper than your fear. Stay close to me, my child. Let me comfort you now, strengthen you now, and prepare you now. The tears were not wasted, and the mercy moving toward you is already greater than the darkness you have survived. My beloved child, I was with you when no one saw the pain. I was there in the quiet moments when your heart was breaking behind a calm face. I was there when you smiled because you did not know how to explain the sorrow inside you. I was there when people thought you were strong, but your soul was quietly asking how much longer it could endure. You may have felt invisible to the world, but you were never invisible to me. The pain that passed unnoticed by others was seen fully by the Father who loves you. There were days when you carried poverty like a hidden weight. You counted what was left, wondered how to meet the next need, and tried not to let fear show in your face. You may have felt ashamed because your hands were empty, because life felt harder than it seemed for others, because you wanted to provide, to breathe, to rest, but the pressure kept returning. My child, I saw those moments. I saw the worry in your chest. I saw the quiet calculations. I saw the dignity you tried to protect while lack pressed against your door. Your need did not make you less loved. Your struggle did not make you forgotten. At another time, sickness or weakness made you feel alone inside your own body. People may have seen only the surface, but I saw the private battle, the fatigue you could not explain, the pain you endured quietly, the fear that rose when symptoms returned, the questions you carried after difficult news, the loneliness of not feeling like yourself. I was with you in the waiting, in the appointments, in the sleepless hours, in the trembling prayers. Your body was never outside my compassion. Your suffering was never too small or too ordinary for my attention. Sometimes rejection wounded you more deeply than you admitted. Someone's silence, distance, betrayal, criticism, or departure touched an old place inside you. You tried to act as if you were fine, but a question kept echoing. Was I not enough? My beloved child, I heard that question. I saw the moment your confidence weakened. I saw how you replayed conversations, searched for what you could have done differently, and wondered why love had to hurt so much. Their failure to love you rightly did not erase my love. Their absence did not make you abandoned by me. During seasons of depression, I was near when even getting through the day felt like a hidden victory. Others may not have understood why you were quiet, why your energy disappeared, why joy felt distant, why simple tasks became heavy. I knew the battle beneath the stillness. I knew the weight that sat on your soul without asking permission. I knew the mornings when rising required courage, and the nights when you were tired of your own thoughts. I did not despise you for the darkness you could not quickly escape. I stayed near the crushed places. Many times, loneliness became your silent companion. You were surrounded by people, but still felt unknown. You answered messages, listened to others, helped where you could, and still went to sleep with your own heart unheard. You longed for someone to ask the question that would reach beneath your surface. You wished someone could see the ache without needing a perfect explanation. My child, I saw. I knew the loneliness that hid behind your normal routines. I knew the empty spaces that became louder when the room grew quiet. There were failures you carried like a mark on your soul. You remembered what you did wrong, what you did not finish, what you lost, what you regret, and shame tried to make one moment become your whole name. People may have judged only the result, but I saw the fear, pressure, confusion, exhaustion, and weakness that surrounded the fall. I do not call evil good, and I do not ignore what needs repentance, but I also do not reduce my child to the worst day of their life. I was with you in the fall, and I was waiting to lift you with mercy. Hidden wounds often speak the loudest when no one else is listening. A memory returns, a word echoes, a face appears, and suddenly you feel again what you tried to bury. You may have told yourself, "It happened long ago. I should be over this." But my child, healing is not always measured by time. Some wounds need truth, tenderness, and repeated surrender before they lose their power. I was with you every time the old pain rose again. I was not impatient. I was not ashamed of the places in you still needing care. In moments when you felt misunderstood, I understood. When people gave quick answers to deep pain, I knew why their words did not reach you. When others told you to be strong, move on, forget it, or stop feeling so much, I saw the wound beneath your silence. I knew you were not trying to stay broken. You were trying to survive with a heart that had been touched by too much. I do not speak to you with careless impatience. I speak as the Father who knows the whole story. Perhaps you hid your tears because you were afraid of becoming a burden. You did not want others to worry. You did not want to be judged. You did not want to explain the same sorrow again. So you cried quietly, wiped your face, and returned to the day as if nothing had happened. My beloved child, I received those hidden tears. They were not wasted. They were not embarrassing to me. They were prayers your mouth could not finish, and my heart heard them clearly. When you were tempted to give up, I was near. When despair whispered that nothing would change, I placed small strength inside you for one more breath, one more step, one more prayer, one more morning. You may not have recognized my hand at the time. You may have thought you survived only because you had no choice. but my mercy was holding you in ways deeper than your understanding. The fact that you are still here is not an accident. Grace has been quietly keeping you. I also saw the kindness you gave while you were hurting. I saw you encourage someone else while your own heart needed comfort. I saw you pray for another person while your own answer was delayed. I saw you keep working, keep loving, keep serving, keep hoping in small ways, even when your strength felt thin. Heaven noticed what people overlooked. Your unseen faithfulness mattered to me. Your quiet endurance was not small in my eyes. There were nights when you asked whether I cared. You did not ask with arrogance, but with pain. You wondered why the door remained closed, why healing was slow, why the burden kept returning, why the person left, why the miracle had not yet appeared. My child, I was not offended by your honest questions. A wounded heart may ask where the Father is, and still be reaching for the Father. I was with you even in the question. I held you even when your faith felt like a whisper. Do not believe that unseen pain is meaningless pain. The world often honors what is visible: success, strength, beauty, progress, applause. But I see the hidden battles that shape a soul. I see the restraint when you could have answered with cruelty but chose silence. I see the courage when you returned to prayer after disappointment. I see the humility when you admitted weakness. I see the obedience no one praised. I see the tears behind closed doors. Nothing hidden from people is hidden from me. Now I want to speak to the part of you that feels tired of being unseen. I know you have wanted someone to notice. I know you have longed for a gentle witness, for someone to say, "I see how hard this has been for you." Receive that from me now. I see it. I saw the years, not only the moments. I saw the small breaks in your heart, not only the obvious wounds. I saw the battles you did not have language for. I saw what you carried while still trying to be kind. Let your heart pray softly. Father, you were with me when no one saw the pain. You saw the poverty, the sickness, the rejection, the depression, the loneliness, the failure, and the hidden tears. Heal the places where I felt invisible. Comfort the places where I felt misunderstood. Remind me that my suffering has been seen by your love, and that my miracle is still being prepared by your mercy. Remain with that prayer for a moment. Let it enter the room of your soul where you have felt most alone. Let it touch the memory of the day no one noticed your breaking. Let it sit beside the night when you cried without witnesses. When you pray this way, you are not reopening pain to suffer again. You are bringing pain into the presence of the one who was always there. Beloved child, your unseen suffering has not been wasted. I can use what you endured to deepen compassion, purify faith, strengthen wisdom, and prepare a testimony that will one day carry hope to another wounded soul. The miracle coming toward you is not only an answer outside you, it is also a work inside you. I am restoring what sorrow damaged. I am lifting what shame lowered. I am bringing light into places that were hidden too long. So do not say, "No one saw, so it did not matter. I saw, and it mattered." Do not say, "No one understood, so I must carry it alone." I understood, and I am carrying you. Do not say, "No one came, so I was abandoned." I was there, even when your pain made my nearness hard to feel. My presence did not depend on human attention. My love was faithful in the unseen places. Rest in this truth today. I was with you when no one saw the pain. I was with you in poverty, in sickness, in rejection, in depression, in loneliness, in failure, in silence, in hidden tears, and in the long waiting for change. Your tears were not wasted. Your endurance was not ignored. Your quiet prayers were not lost. The miracle I am preparing has been shaped with full knowledge of everything you survived, and when it comes, you will know that the Father who saw you in secret was working for you all along. My beloved child, do not believe your waiting was empty. Do not look at the long road behind you and say that nothing happened simply because the answer did not arrive when your heart expected it. I saw every day you endured. I heard every prayer that seemed to disappear into silence. I knew every morning when you woke with the same burden still beside you. Every night when you wondered why the door had not opened. Every season when hope felt like something you had to hold with tired hands. Your waiting was not wasted. It was seen, held, and used by my mercy. There were moments when you thought time was passing without purpose. Others seemed to move forward, while you felt left behind. Their lives appeared to change. Their doors opened. Their prayers were answered. Their faces carried joy, while you were still standing in the same place, asking me for strength to continue. My child, comparison made the waiting feel cruel, but comparison did not tell you the truth. I was not measuring your life against theirs. I was preparing you according to the path I had written for you, with wisdom deeper than what your eyes could see. Sometimes waiting feels empty because it is quiet. Seeds grow in silence. Wounds heal beneath the surface. Roots deepen where no one applauds. A child in the womb is formed hidden from public view before the day of birth arrives. In the same way, I have been forming things in you that were not immediately visible. I have been strengthening patience, softening pride, teaching surrender, uncovering wounds, and building a faith that does not depend only on quick answers. Hidden work is still holy work when my hand is within it. Perhaps you waited for healing, and your body still felt weak. You prayed for relief, yet the pain continued. You asked for strength, yet fatigue followed you through ordinary days. You wondered whether the waiting meant I had ignored your suffering. My beloved child, I did not ignore you. In the waiting, I was near to your fragile body. I was teaching you to receive care without shame, to ask for help without feeling worthless, to value small strength, and to discover that your life remains precious even when your body feels limited. Healing may unfold in ways you did not expect, but your waiting has not been abandoned. At another time, you waited for provision. You looked at bills, responsibilities, empty hands, and uncertain paths. You prayed for doors to open, for work to come, for help to arrive, for the pressure to lift. Each delay felt like a weight pressing against your chest. Yet even there, I was shaping wisdom. I was teaching you to depend on me one day at a time. I was protecting your dignity in places where lack tried to shame you. I was guiding small steps, unseen connections, quiet endurance, and practical courage. The miracle of provision often begins before the supply is visible. There were seasons when you waited for love, understanding, restoration, or reconciliation. You longed for someone to return, apologize, change, explain, stay, or finally see the pain they caused. The silence felt like rejection, and the delay felt like proof that your heart was not worth choosing. My child, I saw the longing beneath your waiting. I also saw what your heart could not see clearly. Sometimes I delayed what you wanted because I was protecting you from what would keep wounding you. Sometimes I allowed silence to reveal truth. Sometimes I used absence to make room for healing that could not happen inside the same cycle. Do not call the years empty because they were painful. Pain is not proof that nothing was happening. Waiting can become a furnace where false attachments are burned away. Waiting can become a classroom where the soul learns what truly matters. Waiting can become a wilderness where idols are exposed and the Father's voice becomes more necessary than human approval. I did not cause every wound, but I can redeem what you suffered. I can turn the long delay into deep preparation. Many prayers you thought were unanswered were actually being answered differently. You asked me to change a circumstance, and I began by changing the fear that circumstance awakened. You asked me to open a door, and I began closing doors that would have harmed you. You asked me to remove pain, and I began teaching you how to bring pain into my presence without hiding. You asked for a miracle outside you, and I began building a miracle inside you, a heart still alive after disappointment, still tender after wounds, still reaching for me after long silence. Gently, I ask you to stop judging my faithfulness by the speed of visible results. A quick answer can be a mercy, but a slow answer can also be a mercy. A sudden open door can be love, but a delayed door can also be love. A miracle that appears immediately can reveal my power, but a miracle that forms through waiting can reveal my wisdom. I know which kind your soul needs. I know the timing that protects what I am preparing. I know how to bless you without crushing you beneath what you are not yet ready to carry. There is a kind of strength that only waiting can teach. It is not loud strength. It is not the strength that boasts before others. It is the quiet strength of a soul that keeps praying when emotions are tired. It is the courage to rise again when nothing has changed overnight. It is the faith to say, "Father, I still choose you," even when answers remain hidden. It is the humility to admit weakness and still continue. My child, heaven has seen that strength growing in you. Even when you felt only tired. Sometimes you believed that waiting meant you were forgotten, but the one who waits before me is not forgotten. The one who cries in silence is not forgotten. The one who holds a promise with trembling hands is not forgotten. The one who keeps turning back to me after disappointment is not forgotten. I have counted the days you thought were wasted. I have heard the prayers you no longer had energy to repeat. I have gathered the tears you did not know how to explain. Beloved child, waiting has revealed what needed healing. It showed you where fear still had power. It showed you where rejection still shaped your expectations. It showed you where poverty had taught you shame. It showed you where sickness had made you doubt your worth. It showed you where bitterness was beginning to grow. It showed you where hope had become guarded. I did not reveal these things to condemn you. I revealed them so the miracle could come to a heart being made ready to receive it. There were days when you almost gave up. You may not have said it aloud, but your soul whispered it. You felt tired of hoping, tired of praying, tired of being strong, tired of waiting for what seemed always just beyond reach. Yet something kept you here, a small breath of grace, a quiet desire not to turn away from me, a tiny flame that refused to go out. My mercy was in that small flame. I was keeping you when you could not keep yourself. Do not underestimate the miracles that happened during the waiting. You survived days you thought would break you. You were kept from paths that would have destroyed your peace. You learned to recognize harmful voices. You began to see your worth more clearly. You discovered that some people could not go with you. You found strength in prayers that had no beauty except honesty. You began to understand that my presence is not limited to the arrival of the answer. These are not small things. They are signs of grace already at work. Maybe your waiting has made you feel behind in life. You look at your age, your circumstances, your losses, your unfinished dreams, and you wonder whether the best years have passed you by. My child, my timing is not intimidated by what you call late. I know how to restore. I know how to accelerate what must move. I know how to redeem what seemed delayed. I know how to bring fruit from seasons that looked barren. You are not too late for my mercy. You are not too far behind for my hand. A miracle is not only an event, it is also a revelation of my faithfulness. When it comes, I want you to recognize that I was present through the whole process, not only at the end. I want you to see that the tears mattered, the waiting mattered, the closed doors mattered, the hidden preparation mattered, the quiet obedience mattered, the hard lessons mattered. The miracle will not erase the waiting as if it had no purpose. It will help you understand that the waiting was part of the story of mercy. In the delay, I was teaching you to desire me more than the gift. I was not withholding love from you. I was drawing you into a deeper kind of trust. A heart that only loves me when answers come quickly remains fragile when storms arrive. But a heart that learns to stay near me in the waiting becomes anchored. It learns that I am good before the miracle appears. It learns that my presence is treasure even before the visible blessing comes. It learns to worship not only after the breakthrough, but while the night is still quiet. Do not let disappointment rewrite your memory of my care. Look again. There were moments of strength you did not create. There were people who encouraged you at the right time. There were dangers you avoided without knowing. There were tears that softened your heart instead of hardening it. There were small provisions that kept you moving. There were moments when peace returned for no logical reason. These were not accidents. These were signs that your waiting was being held by me. Now I want you to surrender the accusation that says, "Nothing happened." Place that lie in my hands. Say to me, "Father, show me what you were doing while I waited. I may not reveal everything at once, but I will begin to open your eyes to the hidden grace. You will see strength where you once saw only survival. You will see wisdom where you once saw only pain. You will see protection where you once saw only delay. You will see preparation where you once saw only emptiness." Let this prayer rise from your heart. Father, help me believe that my waiting was not empty. Heal the disappointment that made me question your love. Open my eyes to the hidden work you have been doing. Teach me to trust your timing, even when I cannot see the answer yet. Prepare my heart for the miracle you are forming, and let my waiting become a place where faith grows deeper, not where hope dies. Remain with that prayer for a moment. Let it touch the long seasons you rarely speak about. Let it enter the memory of unanswered prayers, closed doors, delayed healing, and lonely nights. When you pray this way, you are not pretending the waiting was easy. You are allowing my truth to stand over the waiting and declare that I was present there too. My beloved child, the miracle coming toward you has not ignored the time you spent waiting. It has been shaped by my wisdom. It has been guarded by my timing. It has been prepared with knowledge of your wounds, your needs, your future, and your capacity to receive. Do not curse the waiting when I am ready to show you what I formed within it. Do not bury hope because the process was long. Lift your heart gently and let trust breathe again. Soon you will understand more than you understand now. Some questions will soften. Some tears will find meaning. Some delays will reveal protection. Some closed doors will become evidence of mercy. Some losses will no longer define you as abandoned. The miracle will not only change what is around you, it will help heal the way you remember the road that brought you there. So do not believe your waiting was empty. It was a hidden field where grace was working. It was a quiet room where your heart was being prepared. It was a long night where your faith learned to breathe in the dark. It was a place where tears became prayers, where weakness became dependence, where pain began turning into testimony. I was with you through all of it. I am still with you now. Your tears were not wasted. Your waiting was not empty. And the miracle prepared by my mercy is moving toward you in my perfect time. My beloved child, I am turning your tears into testimony. What you once cried over in secret will not remain only a wound. What once made you feel weak, ashamed, forgotten, and defeated will not be the final word over your story. I have seen the nights when sorrow seemed stronger than your strength. I have heard the prayers that came from a trembling heart. I have gathered the tears that no one else knew were falling. Now, I am working with mercy, not merely to comfort you for a moment, but to transform the place of pain into a living witness of my faithfulness. And there is a testimony being formed in you that did not begin in comfort. It began in the room where you cried alone. It began in the season when you had no answers but still whispered my name. It began when you wanted to give up, yet grace helped you breathe one more time. It began when the wound was fresh, the door was closed, the body was weak, The money was not enough, the heart was rejected, and the future looked uncertain. My child, testimony is often born in the very place where the soul thought it would be destroyed. Sometimes you believed your tears were only proof of defeat. You thought crying meant you were losing, breaking, falling behind, becoming weak, or failing to trust me. But I did not look at your tears with contempt. I saw them as the honest language of a heart that had carried too much for too long. I saw love in some of them, grief in others, repentance in others, fear in others, and hope still trembling beneath them. I am not wasting what came from the depths of your soul. I am taking what sorrow poured out and shaping it into a witness that mercy was present even there. One day, the same pain that made you feel alone will help you recognize someone else's loneliness. You will hear the silence behind another person's smile. You will notice the tiredness in someone's eyes. You will understand the quiet courage it takes to keep going when the heart is heavy. Your testimony will not make you proud. It will make you tender. It will give you eyes that see beneath appearances, ears that listen without rushing, and a heart that knows how to offer compassion without judgment. Perhaps you wonder how anything good can come from what hurt you so deeply. Betrayal felt like betrayal. Poverty felt like pressure. Illness felt like weakness. Depression felt like darkness. Failure felt like shame. Rejection felt like abandonment. I do not ask you to call pain good. I do not ask you to pretend that the wound was small. I am telling you that my mercy is powerful enough to enter what was painful and bring forth something that darkness never intended. The pain was real, but it will not be your master. A testimony does not erase the valley. It does not pretend the night was short if the night was long. It does not deny the tears, the questions, the waiting, or the trembling. A true testimony says, I suffered, but I was not abandoned. I cried, but heaven heard me. I waited, but the waiting was not empty. I fell, but mercy lifted me. I was wounded, but the Father did not leave the wound without healing. This kind of testimony carries power because it speaks truth without pretending. Gently, I am teaching you that your scars can become signs of survival, not symbols of shame. A scar says there was a wound, but it also says the wound did not kill you. A scar says pain touched you, but healing touched you too. A scar says the story passed through brokenness, but brokenness did not own the final page. In my hands, even scars can become holy reminders that grace was stronger than what tried to destroy your peace. There are people who need the testimony I am forming in you. Someone will need to know that tears do not mean God has forgotten them. Someone will need to know that depression is not their name. Someone will need to know that poverty does not erase dignity. Someone will need to know that sickness does not make a life useless. Someone will need to know that rejection from people is not rejection from heaven. Someone will need to know that failure can become a place of repentance, wisdom, and restoration. Your story, healed by my mercy, can become a lamp for another wounded soul. Do not rush the testimony before healing has done its deeper work. A wound spoken too early can sometimes bleed on others instead of bringing hope. Let me cleanse what still needs cleansing. Let me soften what bitterness has hardened. Let me teach you how to speak from mercy instead of revenge, from truth instead of performance, from humility instead of the need to prove yourself. I am not only giving you a story to tell, I am forming the heart that will carry the story rightly. At times, you may want people to see quickly how much you suffered. You may want them to understand, apologize, regret what they did, or finally admit that you were wounded. I understand that desire, but my child, testimony is not built on the need to be validated by those who hurt you. Testimony is built on the truth that I saw, I heard, I held, I healed, and I remained. Even if some people never understand your pain, Your testimony can still be real because heaven understood it from the beginning. A miracle does not always begin with a dramatic change outside you. Sometimes the miracle begins when your heart no longer hates itself for crying. Sometimes it begins when bitterness loses one small grip. Sometimes it begins when you pray for someone else while your own answer is still forming. Sometimes it begins when you stop calling yourself abandoned. Sometimes it begins when you realize that the wound has not become your whole identity. These quiet miracles are part of the testimony too. Look at what I am already restoring in hidden places. You have more compassion than you once had. You understand sorrow more deeply. You are learning to discern what is healthy and what only pretends to be love. You are learning to bring fear into prayer sooner. You are learning to see that my presence is not limited to easy seasons. You are learning that your worth does not depend on who stayed, who left, who applauded, who ignored you, or who misunderstood your tears. This is testimony forming before your eyes. Maybe your testimony will be spoken to many, or maybe it will be offered quietly to one person who needs hope at the right moment. Do not measure its value by the size of the audience. A single wounded soul strengthened by your story matters to me. A single heart that chooses not to give up because you spoke honestly of my mercy matters to me. Heaven does not count testimony the way the world counts applause. I value the humble witness that brings life. There is power in a healed voice, not a perfect voice, not a voice that has never trembled, not a voice that has never questioned, but a voice that has been through the fire and still says, God was faithful. When your voice carries both honesty and hope, it becomes a bridge for others. They will hear that you are not speaking from theory. They will hear that you know what nights of tears feel like. They will hear that your faith was not protected from pain, but strengthened within it. Beloved child, I am turning your tears into testimony by teaching you to remember differently. You once remembered only the wound. Now I am helping you remember my presence in the wound. You once remembered only the delay. Now I am helping you see preparation in the delay. You once remembered only the closed door. Now I am helping you see protection in the closure. You once remembered only the loneliness. Now I am helping you see that I stayed when no one else understood. The memory itself is being touched by mercy. Do not let shame edit your testimony. Shame will say, do not tell anyone you struggled. Shame will say, hide the depression, hide the failure, hide the poverty, hide the fear, hide the weakness, hide the tears. But my mercy says that what has been healed does not need to remain buried in disgrace. Wisdom will teach you when to speak, where to speak, and how to speak. Not everything must be shared with everyone, but nothing surrendered to me remains under the rule of shame. When the miracle comes, remember the tears that prepared the soil. Do not forget how I carried you. Do not forget the nights when a whisper was all you had. Do not forget the quiet strength that grew inside you while you waited. Do not forget those who are still in their own valley. Blessing is not given so you can look down on the broken. Blessing is given so your restored life can become evidence that mercy is real and compassion is necessary. Sometimes testimony begins with the simple sentence, I am still here. You may not yet have every answer. You may not yet see the full miracle. You may still have healing to receive, yet you are still here, still breathing, still reaching, still being held, still able to pray, still able to hope even if the hope is small. Do not despise that testimony. The enemy wanted your tears to end your faith, but your tears have brought you closer to my heart. That is already victory. Now I am teaching you to speak life over the place where death once spoke, where despair said, nothing will change. You will one day say, God was working even when I could not see. Where shame said, you are finished, you will say, mercy gave me another beginning. Where rejection said, you are unwanted, you will say, The Father called me mine. Where fear said, "The night will never end," you will say, "Morning came by grace." Your testimony will answer the lies that once tormented you. There are tears I am turning into wisdom. You will no longer ignore the warning signs you once excused. You will no longer call every open door a blessing without prayer. You will no longer confuse attention with love, chaos with passion, or endurance with obedience. Pain taught you where you needed healing, but my mercy is teaching you how to live wiser. This wisdom will protect your future and bless others who learn from the light I place in you. Other tears I am turning into tenderness. You will become slower to judge those who are struggling. You will understand that not every silent person is cold. Not every tired person is lazy. Not every fearful person is faithless. Not every wounded person is difficult. Because I comforted you in hidden places, you will know how to offer comfort without arrogance. Your tenderness will become part of the miracle. I am also turning tears into courage. You once thought the wound would make you smaller forever, but I am raising a steadier strength in you. The courage to set boundaries, the courage to begin again, the courage to ask for help, the courage to pray after disappointment, the courage to forgive without denying truth, the courage to receive joy without expecting it to vanish. This courage is not loud pride. It is grace standing inside a healed heart. Let your story remain honest. Do not make the pain sound easier than it was. Do not make yourself the hero apart from grace. Do not glorify the wound, and do not hide the healer. Say what is true. I was broken, and God met me. I cried, and God heard me. I waited, and God prepared me. I fell, and God lifted me. I mourned, and God comforted me. Such honesty will carry the fragrance of heaven because it points beyond you to the mercy that carried you. My child, if you still cry sometimes, that does not mean the testimony has failed. Healing can continue while testimony is being formed. Courage can grow while tears still come. Hope can return while questions remain. A flower can rise from wet soil. Do not demand that every tear disappear before you believe I am working. Some tears are part of the final cleansing. Some tears are part of the release. Some tears are part of the transformation from pain into witness. Now bring me the story you have been ashamed to carry. Bring me the hidden chapters, the silent grief, the unanswered prayers, the moments of poverty, sickness, rejection, depression, loneliness, failure, and fear. Place them before me and say, Father, turn this into testimony. I will not waste what you surrender. I will not let darkness have the final interpretation. I will write mercy where pain tried to write defeat. Let this prayer rise from your heart. Father, turn my tears into testimony. Heal what still hurts. Cleanse what bitterness touched. Teach me to remember with truth and mercy. Let my story bring hope, not pride, compassion, not judgment, faith, not performance. When the miracle comes, keep me humble. Let my life show that you were faithful in the valley and powerful in the restoration. Remain with that prayer for a moment. Let it reach the place where your tears felt meaningless. Let it touch the memory you still do not know how to explain. Let it enter the chapter you thought would always be shameful. When you pray this way, you are allowing me to take ownership of the story. You are no longer leaving the meaning of your pain in the hands of fear, shame, or the people who did not understand you. Beloved child, your testimony is not only about what happened to you, it is about what I did with what happened to you. It is about the mercy that found you, the grace that kept you, the truth that healed you, the wisdom that formed you, and the miracle that is coming in my time. Your tears were the beginning of a conversation with heaven. Your pain became a place where my love could enter. Your waiting became a place where faith grew roots. So lift your heart gently. The testimony is being born. It may still be forming, still tender, still hidden from many eyes, but it is real. One day, you will speak from a place that no longer belongs to shame. One day, you will look back and see that your tears were gathered, your prayers were heard, your waiting was used, and your miracle was prepared with wisdom. What made you weep will not have the final word. I am turning your tears into testimony, and through your restored life, my mercy will shine. My beloved child, your miracle is being prepared in hidden places. Do not think that because your eyes cannot see movement, my hands are not working. Do not believe that because the answer has not yet appeared, heaven has been silent, distant, or slow without purpose. I know the waiting has stretched your heart. I know the tears have fallen more than once. I know you have asked, Father, where is the miracle? When will the pain change? When will the door open? When will I breathe again? Listen tenderly now. Much of what I do for my children begins where human eyes cannot reach. Beneath the surface, I am arranging details you would not know how to arrange. I am touching hearts you cannot persuade. I am closing paths that would have delayed your healing. I am opening small roads that will one day connect into a larger way. I am protecting you from what looks attractive but carries danger. I am strengthening the part of you that will need courage when the miracle begins to unfold. Hidden does not mean inactive. Unseen does not mean unreal. My work often begins in silence before it becomes visible in your life. Sometimes you expect the miracle to come suddenly, loudly, and all at once. You imagine one great moment where everything changes, every burden lifts, every question receives an answer, and every tear is immediately replaced by joy. I can move suddenly, my child, and nothing is impossible for me. Yet many miracles grow quietly before they appear. A seed hidden underground does not look like a harvest, but life is already moving inside it. In the same way, what I am preparing may be growing beneath the soil of your waiting. There are hearts involved in your miracle that I am still softening. A person may need repentance. Someone may need courage to speak truth. Another may need humility to admit what was wrong. A door may depend on timing, wisdom, maturity, or protection that is still being formed. You cannot force these hidden things with worry. You cannot hurry them with fear. You cannot control them by replaying every possibility in your mind. Place the unseen details into my hands. I know how to move where your voice cannot reach. Perhaps provision is part of the miracle you are waiting for. You have looked at the numbers, the bills, the needs, the responsibilities, and the uncertainty, and your heart has wondered how help will come. My child, I am able to prepare provision before it reaches your hands. I can connect people, timing, work, ideas, opportunities, generosity, wisdom, and open doors in ways you did not plan. Do not let lack convince you that nothing is moving. Sometimes the answer is already on its way, while your eyes still see only emptiness. For the one waiting on healing, I am also working in hidden places. Healing may begin in the body where you cannot yet feel it, in the mind where fear is slowly losing authority, in the heart where despair is being replaced by endurance, in the spirit where trust is being rebuilt after long weakness. I know you want relief. I know pain makes time feel longer. I know uncertainty can make the night heavy, but do not measure my compassion only by what has changed visibly today. I am near in the process, and my mercy can move through many forms of healing. When your miracle involves restoration, understand that I may first be restoring truth. Before some things can be rebuilt, lies must be exposed. Before peace can return, confusion must be named. Before trust can grow again, patterns must be brought into light. Before a relationship can be healed, hearts must become honest. Before a life can be restored, The false foundation must be removed. Do not fear the hidden work of truth. It may feel uncomfortable, but it protects the miracle from being built on sand. At times, I am preparing the miracle by closing the wrong doors. You may have cried because something ended, someone left, or a path became blocked. Yet that closure may be part of the answer you prayed for without understanding. I cannot place a clean blessing into a space still occupied by poison. I cannot lead you into peace while you keep clinging to what repeatedly steals it. I cannot grow new fruit in soil where old roots are choking the life I am planting. Some endings are painful, but they clear the ground for the miracle to come. Gently, I am preparing you as much as I am preparing the miracle. I am teaching your heart to receive without fear. I am teaching your mind to stop expecting disappointment as the only possible ending. I am teaching your soul to recognize peace, not chaos. I am teaching your hands to release what cannot come with you. I am teaching your voice to pray honestly. I am teaching your spirit to trust my timing more than your own urgency. The miracle must not arrive to a heart still ruled by the wound that almost destroyed its hope. Maybe you wonder why preparation takes so long. My beloved child, I know the answer feels delayed when your heart is tired, but some blessings require roots deep enough to hold them. Some opportunities require wisdom strong enough to steward them. Some healing requires layers of pain to be touched gently. Some restoration requires people, timing, protection, and truth to align. I am not slow because I do not care. I am careful because I love you. Do not despise the quiet signs of movement. A little peace returning is movement. A harmful desire weakening is movement. A clearer thought after many confused ones is movement. A door closing that once kept you bound is movement. A small provision arriving at the right time is movement. A prayer rising again after long dryness is movement. A tear that no longer carries the same despair is movement. These may not look like the full miracle yet, but they are signs that grace is already touching the hidden places. There are battles I am fighting before you ever see the victory. I am guarding your mind from lies that would make you abandon hope. I am protecting your future from paths that look good but carry sorrow. I am breaking attachments that would pull you away from the blessing. I am removing pride that would misuse what I give. I am softening bitterness that would poison the testimony. I am strengthening humility so that when the miracle comes, your heart will say, "Father, this was you." Sometimes the miracle is being prepared through people you have not yet met. A conversation may be coming. A helper may be positioned. A door may be opening in someone else's heart. A word may be forming in a person who will encourage you at the right moment. Do not assume that my answer must come only through the channels you already know. I can bring help from unexpected places. I can use ordinary people, quiet timing, and small beginnings to carry extraordinary mercy. If you are waiting for emotional healing, trust that I am moving in rooms inside you that have been closed for a long time. A memory may be losing its sharpness. A fear may be losing its control. A lie may be losing its voice. A place of shame may be opening to mercy. A place of loneliness may be learning to receive my presence. A place of anger may be softening enough for freedom. You may not recognize this as a miracle at first, but a healed heart is one of my deepest works. Beloved child, I am also preparing you to recognize the miracle when it comes. Pain can make the heart suspicious of blessing. Long disappointment can make the soul call good news impossible. Fear can make an open door look unsafe. Shame can make mercy feel undeserved. That is why I keep speaking to you now. I am renewing your expectation, cleansing your vision, and teaching you not to reject what I send because old wounds still expect loss. There are times when the miracle comes in a different form than you prayed for. You asked for one door, and I opened another. You asked for one person to change, and I changed your attachment to them. You asked for immediate relief, and I first gave strength to endure while I worked more deeply. You asked for restoration of what was lost, and I prepared something new that carried more peace. Trust me with the shape of the miracle. My wisdom sees beyond the desire of the moment. Do not let the hidden season make you accuse my heart. The enemy wants you to say, "God has forgotten me. My tears meant nothing. My prayers have no power. The miracle will never come." Reject those lies. Your tears have reached me. Your prayers have not been lost. Your waiting has not been empty. Your story is not finished. The hidden work may be quiet, but quiet does not mean absent. My love is awake over what concerns you. Now bring me the impatience that has grown in the waiting. Tell me honestly that you are tired. Tell me you do not understand. Tell me you want to see something change. I can receive your honesty without withdrawing my promise. A child does not need to pretend before the father, but after you speak your ache, let me speak truth over it. The miracle is being prepared with care, and my timing will not betray you. Let this prayer rise from your heart. Father, help me trust the hidden places where you are working. When I cannot see movement, keep me from despair. When the answer feels delayed, remind me that preparation is still mercy. Arrange what I cannot arrange. Soften what I cannot soften. Close what would harm me. Open what is from you. Prepare my heart to receive the miracle with humility, gratitude, and peace. Remain with that prayer for a moment. Let it enter the place where waiting has become heavy. Let it settle over the questions that still have no visible answer. Let it calm the part of you that wants to force what only I can form. When you pray this way, you are not denying the difficulty of waiting. You are choosing to trust that my unseen work is more faithful than your visible fear. My beloved child, I am preparing more than an event. I am preparing a testimony. I am preparing a deeper faith. I am preparing a cleaner peace. I am preparing a heart that can say, God was working even when I thought nothing was happening. One day, when the miracle unfolds, you will see pieces come together that once looked scattered. You will understand why certain doors closed, why certain delays protected you, why certain tears softened you, why certain lessons mattered. Until that day becomes visible, rest in my faithfulness. The soil may still look quiet, but the seed is not dead. The night may still feel long, but morning is not canceled. The answer may still be hidden, but heaven is not empty. I am working in hearts, in timing, in circumstances, in your inner life, in places beyond your understanding. Your miracle is being prepared in hidden places, and what I prepare with love will arrive carrying the mercy, wisdom, and power of the Father who never wasted one of your tears. My beloved child, pray before the miracle arrives. Do not wait until the answer is in your hands to bring your heart before me. Do not wait until the door opens. The healing begins, the provision appears, the relationship changes, the burden lifts, or the tears turn into visible joy before you ask me to prepare you. A miracle is not only something you receive, it is something you must be ready to carry. I want your heart healed enough, humble enough, peaceful enough, and surrendered enough to recognize my hand when mercy begins to unfold. Before the miracle becomes visible, let prayer cleanse the place where fear has been living. Fear may say, "What if it never comes?" Fear may say, "What if I hope again and become disappointed again?" Fear may say, "What if I am not worthy of receiving anything good?" Bring those trembling questions to me. Do not hide them under religious words. Tell me the truth. Say, "Father, I am afraid to hope, but I still want to trust you." That honest prayer is precious to me because it opens the wounded place to my comfort. Gently, surrender the shape you demanded the miracle must take. I know what you have imagined. I know the exact way you hoped the story would change. I know the person you wanted to return, the door you wanted to open, the healing you wanted instantly, the provision you wanted quickly, the apology you wanted to hear, the sign you wanted to receive. My child, I do not condemn your desires, but I ask you to place them beneath my wisdom. The miracle I prepare may come differently, but it will not come without my love. There is a prayer that makes the heart ready. Father, let my desire bow before your will. Let my expectation be purified by your wisdom. Let me not reject the miracle because it does not arrive in the form I imagined. Give me eyes to recognize mercy when it comes quietly, courage when it comes through change, healing when it comes through process, and provision when it comes through a humble door. Let forgiveness prepare the room where the miracle will enter. Bitterness takes up space in the soul. Resentment sits in corners where peace should dwell. Old anger keeps replaying injuries until the heart becomes too crowded to receive new grace. I know you were hurt. I know what they said. I know what they did not say. I know the wound that still aches. But my child, do not let the person who wounded you continue occupying the place where I want to plant joy. Place judgment in my hands. Let me free you from the poison that pain left behind. Perhaps forgiveness feels impossible today. Begin with willingness. Say, Father, I cannot do this alone. I do not want hatred to rule me. Teach me to release the debt into your hands. I will not force you to pretend the wound was small. I will not ask you to trust someone who remains unsafe. I will not call evil good. But I will lead your heart away from the prison of revenge, because the miracle coming to you must not be chained to the person who hurt you. Ask me for patience before the miracle arrives. Patience is not passive despair. Patience is trust that continues breathing while the answer is hidden. Patience is the heart saying, Father, I do not see the full picture, but I believe you are still working. Patience keeps you from grabbing counterfeit solutions. Patience keeps you from running back to harmful doors. Patience keeps you from forcing what must be formed. My timing is not an enemy to your joy. My timing is the protection around it. At times, impatience will try to dress itself as faith. It will say, move now, push harder, force the door, make something happen. But faith does not need panic to prove it is alive. Faith can act when I lead, and faith can wait when I say wait. Faith can knock with courage, and faith can rest with trust. Pray for the discernment to know the difference. Some steps must be taken boldly. Some steps must be delayed wisely. I will guide the child who listens. Pray also for protection over the miracle before it appears. Not every voice around you will understand what I am doing. Not every person will celebrate your healing. Not every influence will help you steward the blessing well. Some may try to pull you back into the old version of yourself. Some may tempt you into pride. Some may awaken fear. Some may bring confusion into the very place where I am building peace. Ask me to guard the miracle from wrong hands, wrong timing, wrong motives, and wrong attachments. Quietly, let humility become your covering. When the miracle comes, do not forget the valley. Do not forget the nights when you cried into silence. Do not forget the weakness that taught you dependence. Do not forget the grace that held you when no one saw. A miracle should make the heart softer, not harder. It should make you more merciful toward the wounded, not more proud before them. It should make you thankful, not superior. I lift my children so that my goodness may be seen, not so pride may be fed. There is another prayer I want you to speak. Father, if the miracle comes, keep me close to you. Do not let the blessing become louder than the blesser. Do not let comfort make me careless. Increase make me proud. Healing make me forget the sick. Provision make me forget the poor. Or restoration make me forget those still waiting. Let every good thing lead me deeper into gratitude, obedience, compassion, and love. Before the miracle arrives, let me heal the fear that you will lose it. Some hearts receive with anxiety because they have lost so much before. They hold blessing with clenched hands, not because they are ungrateful, but because they are terrified it will disappear. My child, I understand. Loss has taught you to guard everything, but what I give must be stewarded by faith, not strangled by fear. Open your hands. Receive without panic. Trust me to teach you how to care for what I place in your life. If the miracle involves provision, pray for wisdom to handle it. Ask me for discipline, generosity, patience, and clear judgment. Do not let lack train you to spend from fear or cling from insecurity. Let provision become a place where gratitude grows. Let it help you breathe, serve, give, plan, and walk with dignity. I do not provide so that anxiety can simply change its shape. I provide so that your heart may learn deeper trust. Should the miracle involve healing, pray for a grateful and careful heart. Healing may come suddenly, gradually, through treatment, through rest, through wise counsel, through emotional release, through inner peace, or through strength to endure while the process continues. Receive healing in whatever form my mercy allows. Do not despise gradual restoration. Do not shame yourself for needing help. Do not forget to care for the body and soul I am touching with compassion. When the miracle touches relationships, pray for discernment. Restoration must be rooted in truth, not fantasy. Reconciliation must carry repentance, not only emotion. New love must carry peace, not panic. Friendship must carry honesty, not hidden manipulation. Ask me to show you fruit, not merely words. Ask me to protect your heart from returning to what harmed you simply because it feels familiar. A miracle in love will not require the destruction of your dignity. For the miracle that comes through a new door, pray for courage to walk forward without dragging the old wound into the new room. Do not let rejection make you suspicious of favor. Do not let failure make you afraid to try. Do not let poverty make you ashamed to receive. Do not let illness make you believe your purpose is over. Do not let depression tell you light cannot return. Pray, Father, make me ready to enter what you open with a clean heart and steady steps. Beloved child, ask me to purify your motives. Why do you want the miracle? Do you want it only to prove others wrong? Do you want it so someone will finally regret leaving? Do you want it to escape shame or to become more faithful? Do you want it to be admired or to be restored? Bring even these hidden motives to me. I can cleanse desire without killing hope. I can remove pride without removing promise. I can teach you to want the miracle in a way that keeps your soul free. Do not be afraid of this inner preparation. I am not delaying the miracle because I enjoy your tears. I am not examining your heart to find reasons to reject you. I am preparing you because I love you. A blessing placed into an unhealed wound can be misused. A miracle received by a fearful heart can become another source of anxiety. A restored season entered with bitterness can lose its sweetness. I am making room in you for joy to remain. Now pray with surrender. Father, before the miracle arrives, prepare me. Remove bitterness from my heart. Remove fear from my expectations. Remove pride from my motives. Remove impatience from my waiting. Remove unbelief from my prayers. Heal what is wounded. Cleanse what is hidden. Strengthen what is weak. And make me ready to receive your mercy with gratitude. Stay with that prayer for a moment. Let it reach deeper than your desire for the answer. Let it touch the heart that will carry the answer. Let it speak to the part of you that has waited so long that it no longer knows how to receive without fear. When you pray this way, you are not giving up on the miracle. You are preparing a holy place for it. My beloved child, pray for faith that does not collapse if the miracle unfolds slowly. Some miracles arrive like lightning. Others arrive like dawn. Both are mine. If the answer begins as a small sign, do not despise it. If peace returns before circumstances change, receive it. If wisdom comes before provision, honor it. If healing begins in your heart before it reaches your situation, give thanks. I know how to complete what I begin. Ask me to protect you from counterfeit miracles. A counterfeit may look like quick relief, but lead to deeper bondage. It may look like love, but produce confusion. It may look like provision, but require compromise. It may look like opportunity, but steal your peace. Pray. Father, close every door that only imitates your blessing. Remove every offer that would pull me away from truth. Let me not choose speed over peace or appearance over your presence. There is wisdom in praying before joy arrives. Joy can be overwhelming to a heart that has been sad for a long time. Sometimes you must learn to receive good news without expecting it to be taken away. You must learn to smile without guilt. You must learn to rest without scanning the horizon for trouble. You must learn that happiness is not betrayal of the years you suffered. When I comfort you, receive the comfort. When I restore laughter, let it return. Perhaps you still wonder whether the miracle is truly for you. Your heart has seen others blessed, healed, restored, lifted, and provided for. While you remained in waiting, a quiet voice asks, "Can God really do this for me?" My child, bring that doubt to me without shame. I am not angry at the wounded question. Let me answer it with my presence. Let me remind you that your tears have reached my heart. Let me show you that my mercy has not passed you by. Pray for a testimony that remains humble. When the miracle comes, let your words point to my faithfulness, not to your superiority. Speak with tenderness to those who are still waiting. Do not mock the pace of another person's healing. Do not judge the tears of someone still in the valley. Remember how fragile you felt. Remember how gently I carried you. Let your miracle become a lamp, not a weapon. Now offer this prayer of readiness. Father, I receive what you are preparing, but I surrender how and when it comes. I trust your timing more than my anxiety. I trust your wisdom more than my imagination. I trust your love more than my fear. Make me patient in waiting, humble in receiving, faithful in stewarding, generous in blessing others, and close to you in every season. Remain quietly again. Let those words settle over your waiting. Let them cover the tears that have not yet turned into visible answers. Let them calm the part of you that wants to force the miracle. I am not asking you to stop longing. I am asking you to let longing rest in my hands. A surrendered longing becomes prayer. A fearful longing becomes torment. Give me the longing, and I will hold it with tenderness. My child, I am preparing you for the miracle because I want the miracle to deepen your life, not distract it. I want it to heal, not inflate. I want it to restore, not confuse. I want it to draw you closer, not make you independent from my voice. When mercy arrives, I want you to recognize me in it. When the answer unfolds, I want you to remember the one who heard you in the dark. So pray before the miracle arrives. Pray in the waiting. Pray in the tears. Pray in the small signs. Pray when hope feels strong, and pray when hope feels tired. Pray for surrender, faith, forgiveness, patience, protection, humility, discernment, and readiness. The miracle is coming in my wisdom, but I am preparing more than the event. I am preparing you, my beloved child. And when what I have formed in hidden places begins to appear, your heart will be ready to receive it as a gift from the Father who never wasted one tear. My beloved child, rise gently in your heart, because the morning of mercy is coming. The night of tears has been long, and I know you have wondered whether dawn would ever touch the places where sorrow has settled. I know the waiting has made your hope tired. I know the pain has made your prayers quiet. I know the unanswered questions have sometimes felt heavier than the burden itself. Yet I speak over you now with tenderness. Your tears were not wasted. Your cries were not ignored. and the mercy I have prepared is already moving toward you. Do not let the darkness of yesterday convince you that tomorrow has no light. A season of weeping can feel endless while you are inside it, but no night can rule forever before my hand. What has hurt you deeply has not become stronger than my love. What has delayed has not defeated my purpose. What has broken your heart has not broken my ability to restore. I have been with you in the crying, with you in the silence, with you in the waiting, and I will be with you as mercy begins to rise. Perhaps your heart is afraid to believe again. You have hoped before, and disappointment followed. You have prayed before, and the answer did not arrive in the way you imagined. You have waited before, and the door seemed to remain closed. Because of this, hope may feel risky. My child, I do not shame you for trembling before joy. I know why your heart protects itself, but I am asking you to open just enough space for my promise to breathe again inside you. Let hope return slowly if it must, but let it return. There is a morning coming that will not erase the story of your tears, but will reveal that your tears were held by love. You will look back and see that I was not absent in the darkest hours. You will see that the nights when you cried alone were known by heaven. You will see that the waiting taught you wisdom, the pain deepened compassion, the closed doors protected your future, and the silence became a place where your soul learned to listen. Mercy will not make the past meaningless. Mercy will redeem it. Gently, I am lifting your eyes from the ground of grief. You have looked down for a long time, carrying shame, exhaustion, fear, and disappointment. You have studied the broken pieces so often that you may have forgotten there is still sky above you. Lift your eyes, my child, not because everything has already changed in the visible world, but because my presence is still above the storm. The miracle is not merely approaching your circumstances. It is awakening your heart to believe that I am still good. When the morning of mercy comes, it may begin quietly. Do not expect every miracle to arrive with thunder. Sometimes mercy begins as peace after a long season of panic. Sometimes it begins as strength to take one step you could not take before. Sometimes it begins as a door opening in a place you had stopped watching. Sometimes it begins as a harmful desire losing power. Sometimes it begins as the courage to forgive, the wisdom to release, the humility to receive help, or the first breath of hope after many heavy nights. There may be a restoration coming that looks different from what you asked for. You may have prayed for one person, one path, one answer, one exact form of relief. I heard the prayer beneath the details. I heard your longing for love, safety, healing, provision, peace, and belonging. Trust me with the form of the miracle. If I restore what was broken, receive it with wisdom. If I replace what was lost with something healthier, receive it with gratitude. If I heal you enough to walk away from what once held you, receive that freedom as mercy too. My beloved child, mercy is coming to the places where shame has spoken too long. Shame told you that your tears made you weak. Shame told you that your failures disqualified you. Shame told you that your waiting proved you were forgotten. Shame told you that you should hide until you became worthy of love. But my mercy speaks a stronger word. You are not beyond restoration. You are not too late for healing. You are not too broken for grace. You are mine. And what belongs to me is never abandoned to shame. For the place of poverty and lack, I speak hope. The pressure you have carried has not been invisible. The needs that made your heart anxious are known to me. The fear of not having enough has not made you less precious. I can open humble doors, provide daily bread, guide your hands, give wisdom for decisions, and send help in ways you did not plan. Do not let lack become the final voice over your future. Mercy can enter practical places too. For the body that has suffered, receive my compassion. I know the weakness, the fatigue, the pain, the uncertainty, and the fear that comes when health feels fragile. I do not despise your body. I do not overlook the tears caused by illness. The morning of mercy may come through healing, through strength, through wise care, through support, through peace in the process, or through courage for the next step. Let me meet you in your body with tenderness. You are not forgotten in your weakness. For the heart wounded by rejection, I speak belonging. The person who left did not take my love with them. The one who misunderstood you did not define your worth. The silence that hurt you did not silence my voice. The betrayal that broke trust did not make you unlovable. Mercy is coming to the place where rejection gave you a false name. I call you beloved. I call you seen. I call you held. I call you worthy of care, not because people stayed, but because I have chosen to love you. If depression has made your soul feel dim, let this promise come gently. I am not demanding that you leap into joy all at once. I know heaviness can make even hope feel tiring. Let the morning come like dawn, little by little. One small light, one calmer breath, one safer thought, one moment when despair does not sound as convincing, one prayer that feels possible again. I am patient with your healing. I will not crush the fragile flame. I will guard it until it grows. Remember, my child, the miracle is not only what changes around you, the miracle is also what changes within you. A heart that still loves after being wounded is a miracle. A soul that still prays after disappointment is a miracle. A person who chooses forgiveness without denying truth is a miracle. A weary child who rises again by grace is a miracle. Do not overlook the wonders I have already begun inside you while you wait for the visible answer. Now I am calling you to rise, but not with harshness. Rise from self-condemnation. Rise from the belief that nothing will ever change. Rise from the habit of expecting only pain. Rise from the lie that your tears were foolish. Rise from the shame that told you to hide. Rise from the grave of old words spoken over you by wounded people. Rise slowly if you need to, but rise with me. I am not standing far away, giving commands. I am bending near, offering my hand. There is a testimony forming in the place where you thought only sorrow lived. One day, your voice may comfort another soul because you will know what it means to cry and still be held. Your compassion will carry weight because it was born in real suffering. Your faith will shine differently because it survived the dark. Your wisdom will protect others because you learned through pain what cannot be learned through easy days. What made you weep will not rule you forever. In my hands, it will become part of your witness. Do not be afraid of joy when it begins to return. Sometimes after long sorrow, happiness can feel unfamiliar, almost unsafe. You may wonder if you are allowed to smile after so much grief. You may fear that if you receive joy, it will be taken away again. My child, when I bring comfort, receive it. When I restore laughter, let it rise. When I open a door, walk with me. When peace comes, do not push it away because pain has trained you to expect loss. Joy is not betrayal of your tears. Joy is one way I answer them. Let gratitude prepare the path for mourning. Thank me before the full miracle is visible. Thank me for keeping you alive through nights that felt unbearable. Thank me for every hidden strength, every small provision, every quiet comfort, every closed door that protected you, every tear that became prayer, every moment when grace carried you without applause. Gratitude will help your heart recognize mercy when it arrives. It will keep your soul soft enough to receive what I am giving. At the same time, release the need to understand every detail before you trust me. Some answers will come clearly. Others will become less painful as healing deepens. Some reasons will be revealed in time. Others will remain hidden, yet covered by my love. You do not need every explanation to receive my mercy. You need my presence. You need my hand. You need the assurance that I was there. I am here, and I will continue with you into what comes next. Now let this prayer rise from your heart. Father, help me rise into the morning of your mercy. Heal the places where tears have made me tired. Restore hope where waiting made me afraid. Prepare me to receive the miracle you are bringing in, your wisdom. Keep me humble when joy returns, grateful when doors open, faithful when healing begins, and close to you in every blessing. Remain with that prayer for a moment. Let it settle over the tears you have cried. Let it touch the part of you that still fears disappointment. Let it speak to the place where hope has been buried. When you pray this way, you are not forcing the miracle. You are opening your heart to the mercy already moving toward you. You are saying, Father, I trust you with the timing, the form, the process, and the purpose. Beloved child, I have gathered what you thought was lost. I gathered the tears in the night. I gathered the prayers that had no words. I gathered the ache behind your silence. I gathered the courage it took for you to continue. I gathered the love you gave that was not returned. I gathered the hope you almost buried. Nothing offered to me in sorrow has been treated as worthless. The morning of mercy is coming with light for your mind. Thoughts that once circled only pain will begin to find new paths. Fearful images will lose some of their strength. Shame will no longer speak as loudly when mercy answers it. The future will not always feel like a threat. I will teach your mind to expect my help, not only disaster. I will renew the way you think until truth becomes stronger than torment. Mercy is also coming with healing for your heart. The wound may not disappear in one instant, but it will not remain untouched. I will soften what bitterness hardened. I will comfort what rejection bruised. I will cleanse what shame stained. I will steady what fear shook. I will teach the heart that once expected abandonment how to rest in my faithfulness. The same heart that cried will become the heart that carries testimony. A new strength will rise in you, not the old strength that pretended everything was fine, but a gentler, truer strength. The strength to be honest, the strength to ask for help, the strength to say no to what harms you, the strength to begin again without hating yourself for needing time, the strength to trust me one step at a time. This strength will not make you hard. It will make you whole. When the miracle appears, remember where it came from. It came from my mercy, not from chance. It came from my timing, not from panic. It came from my love, not from your perfection. Let the miracle make you worship, not boast. Let it make you compassionate, not superior. Let it make you generous, not possessive. Let it make you more aware of those still crying in their own hidden rooms. My child, if the morning does not look exactly as you expected, do not close your heart. Mercy may come dressed in forms you did not imagine. It may come as release instead of return. It may come as peace instead of an explanation. It may come as courage instead of comfort. It may come as a new door instead of the old door reopening. It may come as inner healing before outer change. Trust my wisdom to bring what your soul truly needs. Let hope rise again, even if it rises quietly. Let it stand beside your bed, beside your work, beside your waiting, beside your unanswered questions. Let it say, God is still moving. Let it say, my tears were not wasted. Let it say, the miracle is being prepared. Let it say, morning is coming. A hope rooted in me does not have to shout to be real. It only needs to remain alive in my hands. I bless the tears you cried in secret. I bless the prayers spoken in weakness. I bless the waiting that felt empty but was held by my care. I bless the heart that kept reaching for me even when it hurt. I bless the places where hope is returning. I bless the miracle that is being prepared with mercy, wisdom, and love. I bless the testimony that will one day rise from what once felt like only sorrow. Rise, my beloved child, not because every answer is already visible, but because I am with you. Rise because Jesus Christ, Gi Su Kito, has not forgotten the mourning heart. Rise because comfort is promised to those who mourn. Rise because the Father has heard what no one else heard. Rise because the night did not defeat the mercy prepared for you. Rise because your tears have reached my heart, and my heart is already moving toward you with light. Rest in this final truth: your tears were not wasted, and your miracle is coming in my perfect wisdom. The morning of mercy may be nearer than your fear can see. Do not surrender your hope to the memory of long nights. Do not let sorrow become your prophecy. I have been working through the weeping, through the waiting, through the hidden places, through the preparation, and through the pain. Lift your heart, my child. Mercy is rising. Your story is not ending in tears. It is being carried toward the miracle I have prepared with love. Innate.